Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man on the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Badminton Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. So, anyway, today is the official start of the 2021 Olympia weekend. And as you know, the Olympia is one of the biggest events of sport of bodybuilding. It is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. It's the World Series of bodybuilding. You might call it the NBA championships of bodybuilding. It's the biggest event of the year for bodybuilding. And, as you know, if you're a fan of bodybuilding, if as I talked about, recently they announced that this is the biggest money prize of the year with $1.6 million. And that's great. I mean, I'm hoping that the money is dispersed fairly among other divisions. As you know, the Mr. Olympia is going to get a big check. Last year, Big Ramy got about nearly $500,000. And I talked about how, Mr. Olympia, Andrew Shaw got $50,000, and all the other competitors didn't get that much either. So I'm hoping the extra, because last year it was 1.4 million, and I hope the extra $200,000 might be spread out a little bit more among the other competitors, because they deserve. They work it just as hard, and we all know that the Mr. Olympia guard is going to get the big check because it's the centerpiece of the whole show. So anyway, this is gonna be the second time that the return. This will be the second return for the Miss Olympia after it was, as I said quite often, as IPB walk quietly behind their back and stab them in the heart. And it's a great show. And the top 5 ladies for this show is mostly is Andrea Shaw, who won last year. Then first runner up, Marvelous Margie V. Martin. I want to make sure I get it all because I'm a fan of Margie V. And then after that, you had Hella Trevino, Myla Ash, and the big Swede, Irene Anderson. I've been in contact with Miss Anderson on social media. I'm hoping after the season's over, after the shows is over, I'd love to do an interview with her. I mean, hopefully she has the time. Send this video to her, and maybe she answers my prayers. Some of the ladies I would love for them to do interviews, especially like Myla Ash and Andrea Shaw and Margie and Hella. But like I said, I know that some of these ladies are busy and they've been prepping, but I'm hoping they get opportunity to. So as you know, these are the top 5 ladies who qualify for the Olympia. And for the other ladies to qualify, you had to qualify by 2 ways. Other ways is one way is the win shows, which is the shows that are win the swim shows where it promotes female bodybuilding. And then also a point system, which was put in for the Rising Phoenix. So, you get the 3 top qualifiers by points compete at the Olympia. So this was sent to me last night by my brother Jared. Jared, he's the hand of the emperor, I like to say. And he sent me this list. Now, I've been looking forward for the official list, and they hadn't posted yet. So when I found out also that you have to be registered, the ladies should be registered. All competitors should be registered between the 5th and the 6th. That was Tuesday and yesterday. And today is, because it's officially the day for the Olympia. All competitors that's competing must be registered. So this list Jared sent me is kind of like the qualification list. Now, I looked at the list, and some things, kind of when it starts off, it's kind of, basically what it's supposed to be, but then it kind of changed a little bit. Now, first off, Andrea Shaw is at top because, she's a champion. Then behind her is Margie V. Marvelous Margie V. Then Hel Trevino. And then this is where it gets kind of, why? This is not right here. We have Michaela Aycock, Mona Porcella, Leah Denny, Margita Zamalova, Virginia Sanchez, Salvia Mate, Janine Mikowski, Andrea Shaw, Sheena Olick, Rashana Boswell, Nadia Capasoto, if I got the name right, I'm sorry, Myla Ash, Irene Anderson, Stephanie Fletcher, and LaDonna Day. Now, something about this is kind of funny. To me, I'm just thinking it. This looks more like the list of who won or how they place at the Olympia, because officially the show is on Friday for the Miss Olympia. The finals are the prejudges is that morning for tomorrow, and then the finals is later that Friday evening. And to me, this is kind of funny list because you should be going by the top 5 competitors. Mila and Irene should be in the top 5, and then the rest should be ranked by the shows they won and also by their qualification. Now, it's supposed to be 19 ladies, but the number has changed. One point is, if you don't see who's not in this list, is Monique Jones. And Monique Jones, for personal reasons, she stepped out. Now, the list should be by the women's how they won the show. But like I said, this is a list, I don't know how they did it. They just put something together. Now, as you know, if you follow social media, Anastasia Levanova had to drop out because the fact was a visa issue. Now, she lives in Russia, and I think because with what's going on with the you-know-what, I'm not going to say his name because, YouTube always put a little marker whenever I say the you-know-what. And my guess, because she's in Russia, and I think Russia doesn't have a good standing with the United States, and I don't know about if they're following certain guidelines. Her visas she has visa issues. I think it was probably revoked for whatever reason, and she's not going to compete. And I think she's impressive. I mean, what she could have been if she'd been able to compete this show, but so she's out. Then, as you know, one of the top qualifier by points is Janine Lukowski. Originally, Janine was behind Margita Zavarova. Margita had 16 points, but then Margita won at the Europa Championship, and she was able to qualify, by winning the show, and so that Janine took the lead at first place. So she had 15 points. Then the next person behind her was Stephanie Flesher. And Stephanie, had 10 points, and she automatically was going to be competing. But then Stephanie right now, from what I'm hearing, she's been on social media on a mission against bad coaching. She decided to step away from this. And, she just switched from women's physique to bodybuilding this year as she, competed at the Omaha Pro. And then she made her bodybuilding debut at the Chicago Pro. So, now she's out. And I follow social media, and I follow a lot of ladies on social media, and Monique Jones decided to step away from it too. And I'm surprised. I mean, I'm a fan of Monique, and last year she was 6th at the Olympia, and also she made top 5 at the Rising Phoenix. And she returned after for a while. She won the Muscle Fest, which qualified her for the 2019 Rising Phoenix. But she took a personal step back. And I can understand that. It happens with a lot of athletes. And there's rumors that she might consider retiring. If she does, I'm gonna miss her. I think she's a great person. I do follow on social media. I think she's a beautiful woman, a great female bodybuilder, and I hate for her to walk away from maybe opportunity for another shot at the Olympia. But she's already competed in Olympia before in the past. But all the best wishes to Monique. Now, supposed to be, as it's by the point system, the next in line are supposed to qualify, and that is number 8, and that is 8th points goes to Alicia Young, and 6 points goes to Christina Mendoza. But this is also happening. Christina, who competed at the Chicago Pro, and she took second at that show, she decided to take a step back also. I was thinking that her and both Alicia were going to compete at Savannah. But when I was heard for some people, my resources, my sources are telling me that, Alicia had to drop out because of health reasons. As you know, Alicia has been having some health problems a long time ago. It wasn't that long ago when she had Bell palsy. She was in a car accident, and I think this sport can really put a wear and tear on somebody. So we're hoping we might see Alicia back next year. It's just unknown. With Christina, as you know, she took a step back last year. In 2020, she did Savannah Pro. She made the top 5, and she was invited to the Rising Phoenix, and this year she was invited to the Rising Phoenix. And with the Rising Phoenix, you have to put in your application by the spring. So then she dropped out of that show too. So, even though she has 6 points, she qualified. These two ladies both qualified for the Olympia. They both had decided to drop out. So next in line is Hunter Henderson, and she competed. She was second at the Tampa, which got her, I think, 6 points, I believe, because the Tampa and the Chicago are two of the biggest shows. Second runner-ups behind the winner gets 6 points, and she She qualifies for the Olympia. Now, I'm not certain she's going to compete at the Olympia. I follow Hunter on social media. I even mentioned, something to her. I said something to her, and she made a comment saying that she's getting ready for a show. But she didn't say what show. Hunter is also a power lifter. So she might be getting ready for a powerlifting show. But there's a good chance that because of Stephanie, with Stephanie, Monique, Christina, and Alicia dropping out, she might get that spot behind Janine. I'm not certain. But so that still leaves another spot in poor qualification. So that leaves Nikki Chartrand. Now, Nikki has 3 points, but the qualification to make that show, he has to be 4 points. You have to get 4 points just to get in. It was that with the Rising Phoenix when they did it, but I'm not sure if it's the same with this show. But she has 3 points, but she's ties with Natalia Kovaleva. Kovaleva. And the question is, what's going to do if both Nikki and Natalia both have 3 points? Will winter strength, the winter strength, Jake Woods run the Olympia? And will they change the rules because they're missing a few bodies? Will they put Nikki and Natalia in those, missing spots, with both Stephanie and Monique out, and then you don't have Natalia, Anastasia. Anastasia. Then that leaves 3 women who qualified missing. So it just what's going on. I'm not gonna say I'm still waiting for the list. Now, this is my unofficial list. This is the list that I'm seeing what could happen. I don't know. This is the list I put together. I know it's a pretty list, ain't it? So as right here you have this champion, Andrea Shaw. And then you have Marvis Margie V. Martin, who is this, first runner-up. Behind her, you have Helen Trevino, Mila Ash, and Irene Anderson, the top 5 ladies of the Olympia. Then you have the ladies who qualified by winning the shows. You have Virginia Sanchez, who won the Romania Muscle Fest last year. You have Lena Denny, who won the New York Pro. You have Nadia Capasotto, if I got my name right, I'm sorry. She won the Puerto Rico Pro. You have Michaela Aycock, who won the Omaha. Madonna Day, and what I'm saying about that one. I'm not going to say she won that show. I'm just saying that she qualified. Then you have Sheena Olick, I'm a lady I'm a fan of, who won the Chicago Pro. Mona Porcella, who won the Tampa. Margita Zamalova, who won the Europa show in Spain. Then you have Sari Mate, who took first runner up at that show. Now, people just want to know how she's doing this show. From what information I gather, because there's so few shows overseas, over in Europe, you only had the Puerto Rico, and you had the Portugal, and you had the Europa Championship show. And because those few shows you had, Salva was giving a spot because there were so few competitors. Not that many shows over in Europe and I think because those shows are not, I would say, under the wings of strength. The European shows are like their only show that's really a wings of strength show overseas is the Romania Muscle Fest. Now, after that, you have another lady who I'm fond of, we did an interview with, Rishana Boswell. I just saw her on social media. They landed, her and the babies. They look so precious babies. You should see them. I love her kids. They're so pretty little kids. And then after that, you have the 3 women who qualified by points. And that is Janine Lakowski, and then, Stephanie Fletcher, and Monique was behind there. So that leaves a vacancy. So the big question is, who's going to take the vacant spots, or they're going to leave them blank? That's the question. As I said again, both Alicia and Christina are out because of their personal reasons, and Hunter Henderson could take a spot because she has 6 points, so she qualifies. And then you have both Nikki and Natalia, but they have 3 points. I don't know if they're gonna let them come in or just gonna put them in just to fill the spots. With both Stephanie and Monique out, and Anastasia not making it because of the visa issues. So later on this afternoon, they're gonna have the Olympia press conference. It's a meet and greet of all the competitors. If you're in the Orlando area and you're in where the venue they're having it, go to it. It's free admission. I've said it before in another video. Free admission. You get to see the competitors. Most time I think the press gets to ask question, but just to see them say, maybe even afterwards, maybe get an autograph. Me personally, I would love to coach that show, but I'm broke. First of the month, by the time I pay my bills, I'm about broke, and I would love to go to a show. I've never been to a show. My problem was back in the day, I had the money but didn't have the time, and now I have the time but I don't have no money. But like I said, this is a major event, and the Olympia is one of the biggest shows for the sport of bodybuilding. I want to wish all the best of luck to all the competitors. And I'm hoping, like I said, with the new prize money, I hope that Miss Olympia gets a nice chunk of change. Because, $50,000, you can run through it fast, you're not careful. And these ladies work just as hard, train, prep all the year, and getting ready for a show like this. And they should get paid. I mean, like I said, I think like Andrea should get at least $100,000 for how much work she put in, and the ladies get just a little bit more too. Because like I said, they, especially people like Virginia Sanchez, Irene Anderson, Margita Samalova, and Savia Matti, who have to come you have to do a quarantine to come here. I know Virginia's doing one in Mexico because I learned that from my dear friend Miss Alicia Florio. I know I follow Irene on social media. She was doing one in Turkey, and the other ladies doing it in other countries where they can do quarantine so they can come into the States. So these ladies should get a good chunk of change for the time, the money they got to put into completing the show. I mean, like I said again, it's not a lot of money. It should be a lot more money for these women, and how much they put into it. Everything else. But anyway, the official contest will be on this Friday. You have the press conference today. The prejudges is going to be this morning. That Friday morning. I'm sorry, that Friday morning, and then the finals will be that Friday evening. So, like I said, check it out, watch it. I'll put a link in the description. If the cost of the pay-per-view, like I said, it's a little much. I mean, the last pay-per-view I watched, it takes the time to watch because I'm really waiting for the women's Miss Olympia. I got to go through all the other contests. So that's just too much. So like I said, but also on Monday, I'm going to have a critique show. I'm invited some ladies who are IFB pros and give them their opinions and their thoughts of how ladies place, how they should place. Just check it out. Anyway, just to me on the way, George Page, a.k.a. the Emperor, Female Bodybuilding Talk. Don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.